Hello everyone, this is Eric Lalas. This is my first chess tactics and I want to share it with you. This is my first friendly mode match against Fritz. I'm playing white here. I have this analyzed and found a very nice move here that I should have taken on my 30th move. By seeing the board, most of new players are scared of the idea of taking the pawn at c6 and giving up the knight. Knight takes c6 is actually a very nice combination, threatening to give a check at d8 and capturing black's rook. The most obvious move for black here is to take the knight. Rook to b1 is a decisive threat by capturing the black's knight, or if the knight moves away, rook checks at b8 and on his next move capturing black's rook. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a nice day. Hi everyone, it's Eric Lalas. I want to show you this position based on one of my blitz game at playchess.com. If you want to see how the game arrives at this point, visit my blog at erichess.blogspot.com and feel free to copy the game notation. By looking at the board, black is threatening my g2 pawn with his queen, and I am unconfident to bring out my bishop, leaving my pawn behind. This position usually happens on my games, so I decided to give it a thorough study, and therefore I won't be bothered by such position like this in the future. With white to move, he should develop his knight at f3 and still holding the pawn at g2 with his bishop. Black makes his move, d5, and now white can abandon the pawn and bring out his bishop to d3, threatening the queen and leaving it with only 3 squares at h5, g4, and g2. If black decides to take the pawn at g2, which I fear, the rook will just slide to g1 and the queen has no other choice but to move to h3. The queen cannot take the pawn at h2 or the rook because it's being protected by the knight, or this pawn or this knight because the queen is here and this file is controlled by the rook. So queen to h3, the rook will take the pawn, bishop to f8, rook to g3, queen to h5, knight to e2, preparing to go to f4 and trap the queen. Pawn takes, or f5, blocking the bishop. Pawn takes, rook to g8, rook takes rook, queen takes knight, check, king to d7, rook takes bishop, king to c7, bishop to e8, e5, or check with the queen, king to d2, queen takes pawn, f7, queen takes pawn, queen to f1, queen to h4, and rook to g8, threatening to promote his pawn. e5, knight to g3, threatening the queen, queen to f4, queen to d2, bishop to h3, f7, followed by rook to g8, then promoting the pawn. And if he takes the pawn at c4, knight to f4, and black loses his queen. Going back to this position, if black decides to take his queen to g4, h3 drives him away, queen to h5, and then g4 traps his queen. So if he takes the pawn here, bishop will just move back, queen to g6, and then he loses his queen. And if he takes the pawn at g2, rook to h2 traps his queen. Bringing the queen to h5 is slightly better than at g4 or g2, with possible continuation like queen to a4, bishop takes knight, pawn takes, and castle kingside. Black's proper reply for this threat is f5, pawn takes pawn, and then queen takes pawn. So therefore, white should not be afraid to bring out his bishop to d3, because if black decides to move his queen to either g4 or g2, he's in deep trouble. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a nice day. Hi everyone, it's Eric Lalas. It's a 3-minute blitz game that I'm playing on playchess.com. e4, e5, king's pawn game. Bishop's opening. Knight to c6 will be my next move. Okay, bishop to c5, and then castle kingside. I'll take his pawn. Before he's attacking my bishop, bishop to b6, moving it to safety. Wow, this is a good move. He is spinning my knight. I'll just take on c3. Okay, exchange. Very good. Double pawns. I'll just pin his knight. I'll take his pawn. Maybe I need to do something about my double pawns later. I want to bring out my bishop. Okay, d6. Preparing to bring out my bishop. I'll move my bishop away. He's attacking my knight. I'll move to c6. Okay, bishop to e6, offering a trade. Okay, he accepted it. Now I have a good pawn structure. I'll just take his knight. e5, Okay, fine. Trying to exchange and simplify the position. Doesn't want it. I'll open up the G file for my rook. Knight to D5, attacking my C7 pawn. I'll have to protect it with my rook. He's attacking my B7 pawn. I'll just move up. By looking at the board, I'm up by 2 pawns. He has 5 pawns, while I have 7. Knight to D4, which is a knight outpost. Whoops, it's a mistake. Okay, I'll just protect my pawn. And then I'll take this rook to A8. Okay, he's protecting his pawn. I'll move up here. Okay. If he tries to support his pawn with his rook, I'll just capture his knight. Okay, I'll take his knight. I'm about to win this game. I'll take his rook. This will be easy. Move to E3. Trapping his king. I just have to queen this pawn. Move it farther. Check. Okay, I'll just trade. Capture the pawn. Okay, move up. And he loses on time. Now let's go back at my game. This position, what I did was to pin his knight with my bishop. I didn't see the pawn at b4, so I should have taken it with my knight, threatening to give a fork at c2. And I want to show you another position. At this point, I should have done better. You can pause the video now and find that move. I got so focused on the pin. So what I did here is to take his pawn at c3. And I should have moved my knight to e5, forking his queen and his bishop. He cannot move his queen here because it's been guarded by my knight. So what he'll do is to move his queen, and I'll be happy to take his bishop. It's a great help to go back to your game and have it analyzed by your computer. If I'll see this position in my future games, the queen on f3 and the bishop on c4 and my knight on c6, I'll probably try to consider giving a fork at e5. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned something from it. Have a nice day. Hello everyone, it's Eric Lalas. Today I'm gonna play a 3-minute blitz game on playchess.com. Okay, here goes. Okay, d5. Knight to f3. e3. e6. c4, trying to make an exchange. Okay, c6. Defending my d pawn. Shall I move my bishop? c5, challenging his d pawn. He takes. Shall I take with my knight? I'll take with this pawn. Knight takes. I'll take his pawn here. He takes my knight. I'll take with my queen. Okay, check. Bishop to d7, removing the threat and attacking his queen. Let's see. He moves to c2. Maybe I'll develop my knight here. Oh, strengthening my queen. Take with the knight, and if he captures my queen, I'll capture his queen with a check. He takes with his pawn. Shall I give him a check with my bishop? I'll take with my queen. Okay, he castles. Maybe I'll bring out my bishop here, and I'll castle. Oops. Yes, my last move was terrible. Queen to e5. Shall he take my bishop? Okay, he takes. I'll take. b3 is defending his bishop. I'll just move my rook. Putting more pressure on the bishop. He's preventing me from castling because I can't leave my bishop. Okay, I'll just pressure his bishop. Bishop to d3. Wow, I'll take his queen. I'll take with my rook. Okay, what I'm going to do here? Okay, just move up, trying to bring out my rook. Oh, okay, that's the desperate move. Okay, move back. I'll move my rook at d8, controlling the d file. Okay, setting up a rook battery at the second rank. I'll capture this pawn. Okay, I'll just capture this pawn. Take the other pawn. Perhaps I can mate him here. Okay, mate. Going back at this position, what I did was to move my pawn to c5, and this is actually a bad move. After the exchange, instead of my opponent taking the pawn by his knight, he can actually give a check at b5, and if I decide to cover it with my bishop, he can take the pawn here, and he has a good attacking position. And if I take his knight, he'll take my bishop here and give a check. And then if I capture it with my knight, he'll just castle, and he has a good winning position. So c5 here is actually a bad move. I should have moved my knight to d7, which is the semi-Slav defense, and I'll be discussing this opening on my next video. And white continues with queen to c2. Black answers with bishop to d6, bishop to d3, black castles and white castles. In this position, he's threatening my queen, and what I did was to take his knight. He takes his pawn, and right here I decided to take his pawn with my queen. I did not see the pawn at g2. I should have captured it and threatening his rook. So the only way for him to save it is to move it to f1, and I can move my rook to c8, pinning his bishop to his queen. He can save his bishop by moving his queen here, and I can activate my bishop to d6 and preparing to castle kingside. He can also do that by moving his bishop to e3, and if he castles, he can defend his rook. So right here I'll just castle. So if he moves like a3, I can move my bishop to c7 and preparing to give a check at a5. He can defend that idea by moving his queen to b4, and if I move my bishop to c6, I'll be having a very active position here. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice day. d4, queen's gambit, accepted. Knight to f3, knight to c3, followed by e4, bishop takes. I'll take his bishop. I'll give him a check. His king must go to d7. Shall I give him a check with my queen? Okay, check. He's threatening to fork me with his knight. Shall I take his queen, or I'll bring out my bishop? Check. Okay, bishop to d3, followed by bishop to f4. Castle queen side or castle king side? Oh no. Okay. I'll pin his knight. I'm not sure if I'm going to win this game. Okay, I'll just move my bishop here to c4. I'll just take his knight, and then I'll bring my bishop here, preventing him from castling. Check, followed by this knight. Okay, mate in 3. Check. Check. And checkmate. In this position, what I did was to give him a check, but instead of doing this, I should have moved my bishop to d3, attacking the knight, and if he protects it with his pawn, I'll just take his knight, and followed by check, and he'll just move to c7. If he moves his queen to e8, check with the bishop, king to d8, and bishop takes knight. If he takes the bishop, castle queenside check, knight to d4, check with the rook, and check with the queen. Okay, if he forks with his knight, king to e2, knight takes rook, check, king to c8, check, and he loses his queen. At this point, what I did was to bring my bishop to d3, but I should have castled properly. So if he protects his knight, I'll bring my bishop here, knight to f6, rook to d1, king to c7, check, king to c6. Here I brought my bishop to e6. I should have checked him with my rook. He has to move, followed by my threat. These squares are already controlled by the rook and the bishop, so he has to protect that pawn with his rook. e5, threatening his knight. He'll do the same. Bishop to e6. These squares are controlled by the knight and the bishop, so he has to give up his rook. Knight to h7. I'll take his rook. He takes my knight, and I'll take his pawn. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have to castle, do it properly. Thanks, and have a nice day. King's Indian attack, so I'll move my knight to c6. e5. g6, preparing for fianchetto. Knight to f6. Castle kingside. And d5. I'll take his knight, then I'll take his pawn. I'll bring my queen to d7. I'll bring my knight to here. Knight to f5. He's pinning my knight. I have to move my queen. Shall I bring my bishop, queen? I don't know what to do. Okay, I'll bring my bishop to e6. Queen to d7. Check. I'll take his knight. Knight to d4. Okay, takes my pawn. Okay, I'll take his bishop. I think I have a decisive advantage here. Okay, driving away his queen from f3 because I want to fork him. Okay, fork. I'll take his rook. Bring my bishop here. Okay, straightening mate. I'll have to open up for my queen. Okay, I'll threaten mate. I'll move my rook here. I'll give him a check. Okay, I see a mate here. Let's see. Yes, I think I can mate him. Yes, to resign. Yes, he resigns. Right here, what I did was to prepare my bishop for fianchetto, but e4 is more interesting, threatening his knight. If he goes back, d5, defending this pawn from his bishop, d4. Then I'll just develop this knight here, c3, bring out my bishop to d6, knight to h3, and then castle kingside. So white has a cramped position and is behind development. As you can see here, his bishop is threatening my queen. So what I did was to move it to d7, but f6 should have stopped his bishop. He has to retreat his bishop. Knight to d6. He takes my bishop with a check. I'll take it back. Queen to f3. I'll take his knight. He takes mine. c6 to protect this pawn here. h5 and f5. And right here he was forked. So what I did was to move his king to g2. Then I captured his rook, but capturing his bishop is more interesting, and the game might continue with rook to f1, check, f3, rook to e8, queen to f4, check, bishop to h3, threatening mate, rook to f2. I'll just take his rook with the fork, and he'll lose his queen. And lastly, we'll take a look at this position where he's threatening mate at g7. So what I did is to open up for my queen by f5, but f6 is actually better. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice day. d4, d5, queen's gambit accepted, knight to f3. He's spinning my knight, e4, knight to c6, d5, threatening his knight. He takes my knight. I'll recapture with my queen. He's threatening my queen. Okay, I'll just go back. I can't take the pawn at c4 because his knight is there, so I'll have to drive his knight away from the pawn. Okay, nice defense. He's attacking my bishop. Bishop to g5. Okay, b5, defending his pawn. a4. I'll try to break his pawn structure. Okay, nice move. I have to leave my pawn at e4. He'll take my pawn. Bishop to e3. I'll take his pawn. He recaptures. I can't take his pawn. It's being defended by the knight. What shall I do? Okay. I can catch his queen with my bishop. He'll take my bishop. Okay. I'll take his queen. I'll take his pawn. And then I'll threaten his knight. Shall I take his knight? Okay, I'll take his pawn. Then I'll take his knight after that. Okay, I'll just take his knight. He castles. Check. Bishop to h6. Let's see if I can mate him at g7. Oh no. Now I'm in trouble. He's gonna take my rook. Oh man. Queen to e3. He'll take my rook at a1. Check. Followed by castle, kingside. takes my pawn. I'll take his bishop. Check. Rook to d1. Time's running out. Knight to b4. Check. I'll take his rook. Check. Check. Rook to e1. And I'll take his rook. Oh, his knight is pinned, by the way. Wow, I won by 0.5 seconds. In this position, you can drive away his bishop by knight to e5, as long as this pawn is still here, of course, or else he'll take your queen with his bishop. Okay, if he moves back, f3, knight to d7, and then you can take his pawn. If the bishop goes to e6, e4, and then followed by d5. Right here, he's threatening my queen. What I did was to bring it to d1, but I should have moved it to g3, threatening his knight. If the knight goes to d3, I'll take it with my bishop, takes with the pawn, and then I'll recapture with my queen. In this position where he's threatening my bishop, what I did was to bring it to g5, but I should have taken it to g3. And if black moves his pawn to e6, white takes, black recaptures with his queen. Check. Queen to c6. Check. Black recaptures. And bishop takes pawn. And here, what I did was to bring my knight to a2, but I should have taken his pawn at c4. If he takes my knight, I'll just pin his queen. And of course, right here, I should have pinned his queen right away. He has no other choice but to take the bishop, take the pawn, and rook to b1. And right here, check, king to h8. What I did was to bring my bishop to h6, but I should have moved my queen to b3, defending the pawn at f7. If rook to b8, I'll just develop my knight to c3, holding the pawn at b5. If he challenges the pawn, queen to e6, threatens his bishop. This is a 3-minute rated blitz game played at fixed against stronger player. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something from it. Thanks and have a nice day. I'll start with d4, d5, c4, queen's gambit accepted, knight to f3, c6, e3, b5, a4, e6, knight to c3, queen to v6. I'm not sure how to continue. I'll just move my pawn to b3. Okay, he's pinning my knight. Bishop to d2. He takes my pawn. I'll take his pawn. He takes my knight. I'll take his bishop. He takes my pawn. Let's see. I'm still down a pawn, and taking his queen will give him an advantage. I'll take his pawn. Knight to e7. I'll just develop my bishop to c4. He castles. I'll also castle. Knight to d5, threatening my bishop. Shall I protect with my rook, or I'll just threaten his queen? Queen to b7, rook to b1, threatening his queen. Then I'll threaten his queen with my knight. Queen to d6. I'll take his knight, removing his control on b4. Then I'll pin his queen. He has to save his queen. Okay. I'll take his rook. He'll take my bishop with his king, of course. Rook to c1. Okay. I'll take his bishop, check, and soon he's going to be mated. Okay, he resigns. In this position, after queen to b6, what I did was to bring my pawn to b3, but I should have taken his pawn at b5, opening up the f3 e8 diagonal after he takes my pawn. Knight to e5, preparing to bring my queen to f3 and attack the rook at e8 and the pawn at f7. To stop this, the bishop goes to b7, and now I can move my pawn to b3. And in this position, after the pin, what I did was to protect my knight with my bishop, but I should have protected it with my queen. If black continues with knight to f6, I'll take his pawn. He'll recapture. I'll take his pawn. He captures. Bishop to d2. Black castles. Bishop takes pawn. Bishop to a6. I'll take his bishop. He takes mine. I'll castle. Rook to c8. Then rook to b1. And finally, after rook to b1, queen to d7, what I did was to threaten his queen with my knight, but I should have pushed my pawn to e5, threatening his knight. The knight goes to f4, rook to c1, moving to half open file, rook to e8, queen to c2, increasing center control, queen to d6, queen to d2, protecting the bishop, the pawn, and threatening the knight. Knight to g6, bishop to b4, threatening the queen, queen to f4, White takes, black recaptures, and bishop to d6. Now white has a decisive advantage. This is another 3-minute rated blitz game played at fix. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day. Hi everyone, it's Eric Lalas. Today we're gonna study the benoni defense played as white. This defense is usually used by black against queen pawn opening. White starts with d4, queen pawn opening, c5, inviting white to advance, knight to f6, leading to benoni Indian defense, holding the center, c4, d6, transposing to Indian defense, and opening up the c8 h3 diagonal for his light squared bishop, knight to c3, taking his share of the center, g6, preparing to fianchetto his dark squared bishop, e4, gaining more space, bishop to g7, preparing to castle, knight to f3, black castles, white brings out his bishop and also preparing to castle, e6, challenging the pawn at d5, castle kingside. If black takes, white recaptures. If instead of taking the pawn at d5, black decides to take his rook to e8, white can take his knight to d2, holding the pawn at e4 and opening up the e2 h5 diagonal for his bishop. Black may continue with knight to a6, preparing to go to c7. White develops his rook, knight to c7, a4, b6, freeing his light squared bishop, rook to b1, and the rest of the game might continue with, for instance, rook to b8, queen to c2, a6, b4, challenging the c5 pawn, black takes, white recaptures. If black takes, white recaptures, knight to d7, the rook moves back, knight to c5, bishop to b2, f5, and bishop to f3. If black makes an experiment like knight to d7, white simply makes an exchange and black loses his pawn. Let's go back to the position where the pawn exchanges. If black decides to move his rook to e8, white replies with knight to d2, again holding the pawn at e4, knight to d7, a4, knight to e5, queen to c2, g5, and I'll just continue with a short line like rook to a3, a6, a5, rook to b8, knight to f3, black takes with a check, white recaptures, knight to g4, bishop takes, white recaptures, knight to a4, queen takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, bishop to h5, and rook to g3. This is a short study of the benoni defense. You can refer to the PGN of this video on my blog site, and feel free to download sample games of this opening. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice weekend.